and tonight I will be going over episode 4, How the Mighty Have Fallen. This episode was tough. I'll just say that. I want to take a moment before we start to say there is a lot of speculation online about the season being re-edited and scenes being filmed more recently to add Instagram, I believe, and commented about last week's episode. She basically said she preferred the wedding not be mentioned, but they never told anyone not to use their names. They just didn't want their wedding to be used for drama, and they were not expecting it to be such a huge plot point in the show. We get a rare instance of when polygamy is actually a positive thing. Christine's son Peyton is with is coming off very sweet, saying, "Hello, how are you doing? Are you feeling any better?" Cody says he's a little emotional, and she asks him if he's in a place to talk about it. Cody says it's triggering for him. He's tired of being angry, and Robin agrees. In a confessional, Cody says, in these divorces, the ugly finger of blame has come out, and then he's like mocking one of his children, saying, "Dad, you were never at my house. I'm sorry, I had 4 wives. I was at your house, though, because the other wife was complaining that I was at your house." It's funny to me that he says the ugly finger of blame when Cody is blaming every single other person in his life but himself. Robin says she doesn't know why Cody is not reaching out to the kids more. Cody says they're trash talking, and Robin says no, they're hurting. He brings up the wedding and says there was so much animosity, some of the kids wouldn't even talk to me. He tells Robin You know, Cody, I think that we could really compare this to a child whose father cheats on their mother. I understand that this is a polygamy and it's allowed, but I imagine that is very much how your children feel. They almost see Robin as your mistress, and this other woman that dad actually loves and respects and is affectionate to, and they see their mothers not getting that. How he doesn't see why any of his children are hurt. I mean, I've said this time and time again, but it's just baffling to me. Robin says, I know you're struggling and going through a lot. I don't want to pile on, but I'm dealing with grief about this. She is crying, and Cody says, Robin, I'll make an effort. I've spent a year lamenting the situation. When I get over that, those children that are open to me will get my attention. Okay, Robin says, can't you do a little bit of communication? And Cody is kind of considering what she said, and then does this almost half smile, very condescending, and says, at the wedding, I tried to connect with Madison. Robin says, have you been trying to communicate with them? And Cody says, Gabriel, yes I have. Hunter too, but I received total contempt. Robin said divorce is hard, and Cody is kind of like, it's a betrayal. It's not about the divorce. I'm not even talking about their mothers. You haven't shut up about their mothers. What are you talking about? Robin almost had me, but then completely lost me. She says they're caught in it. They're getting fed information that's not true or one-sided. Then Cody says, well, then they can be mad at their mothers 10 years from now. And if you don't do something, Cody, they're still going to be mad at you 10 years from now, too. Robin says they need you in their life, and Cody says they can have me. All they need to do is pick up the phone and call. All they need to do is answer when I call without having total contempt for me. Again, we have Cody completely invalidating his children's feelings. If you do something to hurt someone, they are going to have contempt with you. And if you want to repair the relationship, you have to work through that contempt. Cody confirms that he still does not understand what his children are mad at, because he thinks the disparity in the relationship is because of shit talk. No, it's not shit talk. It's people hearing and experiencing real things. Cody says he is so angry that when someone opens up to him, he's probably gonna lash out, and that he can't even get it straight with Robin right now. He says he's gonna take some time to get over what happened and how he's been treated. Robin says, you need to get over it because this is hard on us. And you don't really see it, but she kind of makes a motion towards the house. Like, it's hard for us, the people that live in the house with you. Cody says, when the time is right, I'll finally feel forgiving. I think. I hope. So are you admitting that you're actually not willing to work on your relationships right now? Are you saying that you can't do it? Robin suggests that he gets on his knees and asks God for help. He says it's going to take more than that. It's going to take a change of heart. He has lost his faith. In a confessional, Robin talks about how one of the main reasons she fell in love with Cody was seeing how he was with his children. And I believe that. She even said that she was looking for someone to be a good father to her children. And if you go back and watch those early seasons, he was a completely different person. He was a loving and caring father. And that is something that Janelle has commented on a lot. That he was such a wonderful dad. He was, but it wasn't for the right reasons. It was almost kind of an act. He was Cody said.